Love this podcast? Support it and sponsor today. Simply head to ozcastnetwork.com for details.
Bank of the West is offering the 1% for the Planet checking account. It gives back to the planet at no cost to you, and there's no monthly service charge with any deposit per statement. Only from Bank of the West. Learn more at bankofthewest.com/1%. Additional conditions apply. Member FDIC.
The Bachelorette and Friends. From first love to happy ever after.
What's that?
From dating to dick pics.
Oh my. Oh no!
The Bachelorette and Friends. Oh, I love a good dick.
This podcast contains sexual references, coarse language, and adult themes from the beginning and throughout. It is not recommended for listeners under the age of 15.
Guess what, lovers? The Bachelorette, there's always a catch, is back on stage in 2021. First up, The Mill, Adelaide Fringe Festival, from the 18th to the 28th of February, 7:30.
Tickets on sale at the Adelaide Fringe website.
Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to the Bachelorette and Friends. I'm your host, Carla Anita Mattiazzo, and today's guest is an actor. He's a comedian and he's a teacher. Welcome to the podcast, Ben Knight.
Are you going to put applause there?
No.
Okay. What an intro. Thank you for that.
Welcome, man. Welcome. Thanks for coming on. This is delightful.
Thank you for having me on your podcast, The Bachelorette.
Yep, you got it. So I
Crushed
stumbled across you through Jacques Barrett.
Ah, he's a beautiful man.
Isn't he? Isn't he the best?
Yeah.
Through his podcast.
Yes. Quite a pickle.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. So that's how I stumbled across you.
Ah, lovely.
I think I must have messaged Jacques and he was like, yeah, get on him. He's awesome. So that's how that happened.
That's a lovely bromance happening. And that's lovely. The feeling is mutual.
Oh, that's so cute.
And he does the podcast with Emma Zammit.
Yes.
She's the best.
Does.
She's so good. She made me an olive and a tomato paste sandwich.
I saw that. Was it good?
It was so good.
Have you had
I don't know why I was so surprised, but it was like, have I what, sorry?
Have you had any since, Ben? Have you made some?
No, I'm not going to make it myself.
Why? Because
it's not something. It's not something that I just microwaved my last meal. But yeah. Do you know, this is so funny. We're already off on a tangent, but I've been seeing this woman lately. I almost said girl. Oh, that would have been bad.
Watch out.
I've been seeing this woman, and she's a woman. She's like this gorgeous woman. She's like a queen. And she recently, I like to think I'm like a really complex man, but like the other day, like I helped her move some stuff, like real heavy stuff, like I don't know, a couple of hours, and she made me a sandwich. It was like white bread and like just cheese, tomato, lettuce, mayonnaise, and chicken, and she cut it into a triangle and just gave me it on a plate. And I was like we're even. That was the most. It was like I don't know. I was so happy. I don't know how to explain it. I was so happy. I haven't got a sandwich made for me since like mum.
Oh,
and I almost cried. It was so good. I had just someone gave me a sandwich. We're like the most simple creatures. I don't know if it's making sense to anyone that's listening, but like I was so happy that someone just made me a sandwich. I don't know if that's buying into stereotypes or whatever, but I was happy.
Because it's a sign of care, that she cares for you, that she's feeding you.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it was really nice. And also I didn't feel bad that like someone had really slaved away to make me like an over-the-top meal. It was just like, it took a minute and it was like really kind. And I don't know. I don't know why I brought that up, but it just made my day.
That's very sweet.
I think she thinks I'm an idiot, but I was like, man, you don't understand. This is the best. You made me a sandwich.
Do you think it's also, Ben, because we're so used to being, well, I'm speaking from my life experience, but we're so used to being independent and doing everything ourselves that having somebody do something for us without us asking them, and it's yeah,
I think so. I think so, and I like doing things for other people. That's like that. That's really like a thing that gets me. I was going to say hard, but that's not the right word to use.
Okay,
especially with that teacher intro. But yeah, like you like doing things for other people, and so when someone did it for me, I was like, oh man, that's so nice.
Yeah,
anyway, I've derailed the whole podcast over a sandwich.
No, you haven't. Not at all. Not at all. I'm glad the sandwich brought you joy. That's a lot.
So much, but like that's the thing. So much joy. I didn't realize it until I had it in my hands. I was like, "This is the best."
So
Yeah.
I'm going to throw a spanner in the works with your sandwich situation. So if you got that sandwich every day, would it spark as much joy?
Don't know. That's a good question. No, I think maybe just random sandwiches every now and then.
Random. Okay.
Random sandwiches.
So would you say that is a tool women, okay, we're speaking heterosexually here, but women should have in, or people in general, Ben, should have in their toolkit knowing how to make a sandwich for somebody that they care about?
Yeah, I think, well, I don't know if the sandwich is just an analogy because it's like masculine and feminine energy is very different. Like my ex-girlfriend, she was a lot more masculine than me in a lot of areas.
Well,
but I look like way more masculine than her. She was like this gorgeous, tiny little, she was ginger as well. But like whenever she wanted to fart in a supermarket, she'd come up and hug me and just let it out. And everyone thought it was me. Because they look at me and it's like, oh yeah, that dude definitely did it. It was definitely not her. So like, that's a
smart.
stereotype.
That's
so smart
though.
But yeah, so she was way more masculine than me in a lot of areas. She was a lot more, I guess, I don't know, what do you call it? Direct.
Right.
And I was more sensitive. But then, yeah, I don't know. Like I pick up heavy couches and shit.
What's that saying again? What's the heaviest you can bench? What's that fucking thing that?
What do you bench, bro? What do you bench? Yeah,
what do you
I can
bench,
do
Ben?
that. Yeah, I can do that. Except I cried at the start of Up. Everyone cries at the start of Up. If you didn't, you
A narcissist
don't have a
or a psychopath?
yeah, a psychopath. Absolutely. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I liked a quote I saw. A good man isn't a weak man. A good man is a dangerous man that's got it under control. I don't know if it's kind of like I kind of like that.
Okay,
It made me think a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know. I'm trying to work out whether I don't know. I've never unpacked it, so.
Well, I'm making you do it now, Ben.
Yeah, it was kind of cool because, like, I don't know. I think in society these days we think like, I don't know, soft, sooky men are nice men, but like we said before the podcast, talking about these men that identify as feminists, they're not nice men just because they're weak. Like they just found a nifty little back door in. And
isn't there a band that's got a song called The Back Door? Wasn't that on Josie and the Pussycats, that movie? Because I'm sure you've seen it. It's in the 90s.
No, I haven't seen that movie.
I can't remember what the band was.
The Back Door.
Yeah.
You're talking about anal. This is completely different.
The
back door, I'm pretty sure that's an analogy. That's a different analogy, but we can talk about that as well if you want.
Well, we can later, but keep going on your story.
Oh, I saw that quote and I thought it was kind of nice because, like, like that's a good man is because I don't know, we all know like men are dangerous, but like if you got it under control, it's like it's a nice thing. I mean, when the zombie apocalypse hits, you don't want Branthony, who's 25 kilograms, wringing wet, protecting you, I guess. Like,
no thanks.
oat
Okay.
lattes are good when shit's going good. But when the pandemic hits, like, Nick Cody's got a really funny joke about that, about like how he's always the one that gets asked to move the couches. Like everyone likes the real, I can't remember his joke, but it's along those lines. Like everyone likes the skinny little sensitive man, but like Cody's always the one that they ring to back a trailer or move a heavy couch.
Poor bloke.
Yeah, I think it's just a balance. No, it's just like I'm being silly, but I genuinely believe like everything's just a balance. Like I think the world today, we divide things so black and white, and no one wants to have a nuanced conversation about the grey, yes. And that's what I think. I think it's just a nice balance. Like instead of just going all the way left or all the way right, you can.
So, do you think that also comes with age and introspective, going inside and working on yourself? Because the point of you saying that men are dangerous in inverted commas and that it's nice to have that danger in inverted commas under control, is that the testosterone part that drives men with the whole, when we were back in the, I don't know what people subscribe to in regards to evolution or religion, whatever, cavemen and whatnot, there was just the innate biological...
The protectors.
Yeah. Do you think that...
Yeah, well, I guess...
Sorry, go ahead.
Maybe, I guess... Oh, sorry, no, cutting you off. I'm about to mansplain over the top of the lady.
Go ahead.
Hey, you were doing great. Let me take it from here, toots.
Go ahead, man.
No, I'm serious. I didn't mean to cut you off. You keep going. Oh, there's no way I'm cutting you off.
No,
that was a joke, by the way, if anyone's can't get sarcasm.
Yes.
Because I'm going to get cancelled.
You're not going to fucking get cancelled. It's okay. It's okay.
No, what were you talking about?
I don't know.
The protectors. after I met. Hey, let me explain about the protectors. Well, no, you were talking about how, like men have stereotypically been. I think maybe there's some truth to that. I mean, you're an idiot if you don't take that into perspective, like everything into perspective. Like Homo sapiens have been around for like 200,000 years, and stereotypically, I guess men have been the physical protectors for however long. And then now that society is where it's at, you just got to. Now we don't. I don't know. Now I think it's like I said, it's a balance. I guess you got to take that into account.
Do you think it's...
Yeah, definitely. I think biologically there's definitely a role to play. Like if you talk to evolutionary biologists, I guess like they've said a whole heap of that sort of stuff. There's a dude called Brian Weinstein, who's a really clever intellectual. Him and his wife are like evolutionary biologists. So yeah, they talk about that sort of stuff. But it's just interesting in the world that we live in, like people want to just totally disregard that because it doesn't fit the narrative of...
It doesn't fit into the neat box of, because I don't know, it seems like society needs everybody to fit in a certain neat and tidy box so we can understand the perimeters and the boundaries of that box so that person will stay neatly in there so it's easier. Whereas people are complex, so...
Totally.
Don't fit.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's, you articulated it far better than I would have. No, but I think that is true. It is. I think the more we start meeting in the middle and having nuanced conversations instead of just blindly following the rhetoric and narrative that you believe. It's not smart. It's not you're not a smart person if you just buy into this is the way the world is, and not listen to other things. It's not a
So do you
smart thing to
think,
do.
Ben, that only comes with maturity maybe? Because when you're younger, it's easy to be manipulated per se into, I'll give you an example because otherwise I won't make sense. So when I was a child, I was brought up Catholic because I'm Italian, French, Croatian background. So obviously
I was
that
Catholic too.
Yeah, that's part of the culture. And I was literally having this conversation with my father the other day because he still goes to church. He's in his mid-60s, first generation Australian. His parents are from Italy. Dad intellectually disagrees with a lot of the horrific shit that has happened within the Catholic Church, but church gives him community and some space of meditation and reflection. Okay.
Yeah.
So, and I was talking to him about, because Dad's very vocal with what he disagrees with the Catholic Church and where he thinks they need to change, right? And I said, Dad, that's all well and good, but you're still subscribing to that. Like, but I can't, it's who am I to tell my father who's 65, you need to get rid of that, because it does give him a sense of comfort, and he is vocal with what he's not happy about. Now I've gone off on
that's fine.
tangent.
But you wouldn't tell a Muslim person to unsubscribe to Islam just because there's extremists.
Yeah. That's true. That's true. But I'll bring it back to what I was trying to say, but I went on another tangent. When you're younger, it's easier to be shifted into certain beliefs by older people or ways of thinking or ways of viewing the world. And only when I got into my early 20s, seeing a younger cousin getting baptized and actually listening to the words within that ceremony, did I go, what the fuck am I subscribing to? So do you think the only way that people can have nuanced conversations is with maturity, or the next generations will be better than what we were or are?
Yeah, I think the maturity's definitely got a massive thing to do with it, because I don't know. I was raised Catholic, and I stopped going to church when I was 14. That's when I kind of worked it out. But that's the thing. It's nice, and there's really the Bible. There's a reason the Bible is the most popular book in the world. It's got really nice lessons in it, and the archetypal stories and all that sort of stuff. I think that's what they call them. I don't know, where you sort of learn lessons from it. But I mean, that's heaps of stories. Mm-hmm. It's just a good way. And it's also, I don't know if you've read Sapiens by Yuval Noah Harari, but he talks about how religion was, it's so good. He talks about us as a species, and how we sort of pulled together. We had our little tribes and everything, but religion was the best tool to have millions of people pull together in one direction, sort of thing. If you tell them a narrative, stories is what sort of kept us all going in one direction. So the Catholic narrative or the Christian narrative, it was okay, that's how we can get millions of people pulling in this one direction, as opposed to little tiny groups.
Why do you think there was a need for mass control?
I don't know. I think it helped. Well, he'd explain it way better in the book, but it sort of helped us coordinate a whole, build societies bigger than 50 to 100 people. I guess, I don't know why the need for all that is. I guess it's just controlled chaos, right? It's controlling, or otherwise we'll just be running around doing horrible shit. But maybe that's what we needed back then, because now so many people are atheists and we're not doing it. Maybe that's just because we've evolved. But I think religion definitely served a purpose for early Homo sapiens to sort of all pull in the one direction.
Yeah, it's an interesting topic, isn't it?
It is.
I don't
Anyway,
feel I don't feel like I know enough about, one, evolution, and two, the intricacies of organised religion in history to intellectually hypothesize on a deep level with that stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't either. That was total bro science then, but I said it pretty confident.
You did?
I said it real confident, so hopefully people believe me. Look at Trump. He just says whatever he wants. And then dumb people go, oh, yeah, I guess it's true. I could be wrong. I don't know. Read a book. Don't listen to me.
I'm just saying, bro, I feel like that's where, like, I'm stunted with a lot of that stuff. And I can only speak on my life experience and me deciding to leave that religion. But it's interesting how religion has, like you said, assisted and aided humans in a certain part of history. I
don't think it's stunted. Well, yeah, I don't think stunted's an interesting verb. I don't think. I don't know if it. I don't know if you look at it. Well, I don't know if you can look at it as stunted, or it might.
No,
still
I'm
be
saying
growth.
my collective knowledge on that is stunted.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, I thought you meant that because you were in the Catholic thing for so long, that your life was stunted.
Oh no, no.
Which it completely was. You idiot! Oh my God! Why did you take so long to get out?
I don't know. Well, because I was the first daughter, like first child in an Italian family, always had to do the right thing, doing the right thing by the family was a big thing, Ben.
Yeah. Oh, my mum's Italian. I get it. Like my mum's half Italian. She went and chased her Italian heritage. She's Catholic.
Yeah.
I got two aunties that are nuns.
Wow.
They came to my comedy festival show. She laughed the hardest at my joke about foreskins. So there you go. She's a nun. She brought 5 nuns to my show, and I did a joke about my mate who used to put 50-cent pieces in his foreskin. That was his party trick.
What the fuck?
Why?
Why did he do that?
Because it's pretty funny. Like, objectively, it's very funny if you see it. Like, and he never showed any girls. He just used to fill them up, and then like at a party, and we'd all just look at it. $7.50 was the record, by the way, in case viewers are wondering at home. And then we'd just press his nose, and he'd go, "Yep, you hit the feature." Ding, 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 and he'd flick him out, and that was hilarious to us. And you guys can't judge me until you were there too, and just watch it because it's pretty funny. Well, if it was in Melbourne in a museum, like they'd be like, "Oh, it's amazing art. It's an art piece on capitalism." Because he did it at an RSL, it's gross.
How did that?
It's pretty fun.
I'm just trying to work out how that even eventuated. Like, what was the point in which he went 50 cents?
It's just like, because number one, it's the biggest coin, so I get that. You know, like no one's impressed with a 5-cent piece. Like, yeah, I could do that, but like 50 cent, it's big, it's got edges. It's like, all right, that's impressive, man. And then what? $7.50. It's 15.
Yeah, right.
Pretty stretchy. Anyway, why did you quit being Catholic?
Okay. Would you like the actual reasons?
You met a boy and you wanted to get jiggy.
Oh, that didn't stop me. You don't know that stereotype about good Catholic girls? You don't know that stereotype?
I know Catholic girls. These are the worst / best.
Yeah. Well, I'll let your imagination go where it wants to go with that, Ben. I'm not going to confirm or deny that stereotype.
Didn't take long for him to show his true colours. You're just a man thinking about sex, you grub.
So the reason I denounce Catholicism, and I would say that I'm agnostic because I feel like, who am I to say what doesn't exist? But in my world, in my life, I can't subscribe to Catholicism anymore. Okay, so one reason is I felt like I couldn't stand by with all the injustices that have happened with molestation and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I didn't like the fact that women were not allowed to be priests, and that's still a thing. I felt like it was very male dominated with a lot of the stories and a lot of the prominent head figures and whatever. And in 2016, I had a family situation happen that made me go, well, I've been a super duper good Catholic my whole life, followed what I was supposed to do, yet this horrendous situation has happened to me and my family. So I was like, yeah, it's a bit of bullshit. This is all bullshit. This is absolute bullshit. So, yeah, there was a series of things over a few years that made me go, yeah, that it's not for me. And I have even gotten to the point where, for example, when I was on online dating, if a dude mentioned that he was Christian and noticed that I wasn't, I was agnostic or whatever is put up there or not put up there, and I would not want to christen, baptize my child. I'm not about it. And in the past, that was a grey area for me. But as I've gotten older, that's maybe like there's some non-denominational ceremonies, like name ceremonies, which are really cute, and really lovely and bring people together in a beautiful way rather than through religion. But so that's my religious denouncement story summarised for you, Ben.
That was so much more comprehensive than you wanted to bang a dude.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. I should have known better. Like, women are so complex. I just looked at it purely from a dude's perspective. It's like, I want to have sex.
Yeah.
I'll project that onto the lovely woman talking to me. I apologize.
No, don't apologize. It's all good. You never really.
We're all learning. We're all learning, Carla.
We are.
I'm going to be a better person after this podcast.
You're never going to get a short response from me when you ask a question, Ben. So just FYI as we go along, if you do ask me any questions, it won't be short.
That's the last question I'll ask you. It wasn't that long. It was comprehensive. It was lovely.
Thank you, sir.
I hope you're enjoying this episode of The Catchalorette and Friends. Make sure you follow the podcast at The Catchalorette Pod on Instagram. And if you think your love journey is worth sharing with me on the podcast, send me an email, thecatchalorettepod@gmail.com, or slide into my Instagram DMs. Oh, and don't forget to give the podcast a review and tell all your motherfucking people to listen to the show. Now let's get back to this episode.
So let's start back at the beginning of the original intentions of the themes of the podcast. So let's start with crushes, Ben. Can you remember your first one? And actually, before we go to crushes, your name is a bit of a trigger for me, by the way.
Oh, shit. Here we go.
Because I was engaged to a Ben at 21. Really young, real stupid. Another story.
Yeah.
But yes,
that's
if you hear me say your name with,
disdain.
Not disdain, but with, a flavour that you're like, well, this chick doesn't really know me. Why the fuck is she saying my name like that? It's not your fault. Not all Bens.
I know you, Ben. Hashtag not all Bens. Not all Bens.
Not all Bens.
Shit, that's so funny. My first crush was Jacqueline Sloan in grade 7. Mm-hmm. I was at a Catholic school, Our Lady of the Rosary. What a nerd. I was cool at that school because I was a good soccer player.
Right.
But I had ginger hair, so none of it, I had ginger hair. The two coolest kids at school both had ginger hair, so it wasn't a cool school. And I was good at soccer, and she was the babe at the school, and and I kissed her on the lips before she went on the bus one afternoon. I was pretty happy about that. And then Adam Shuttlewood started pashing his girlfriend behind the port racks, and that just completely blew me out of the water. He's in grade 6 too. He was a heavy hitter. That was in like 90. I was in 96. Man, he was. Yeah, I don't know what he's doing now.
Wow.
Anyway, she broke. Oh, technically, we're still together. We never broke up. So, Jacqueline, if you're listening to this, do you know what's funny? I saw her at the Caloundra races, like horse races, like Ladies Oaks Day or whatever it was, and I was there and I saw her and I was like, oh my God, this is so funny. I was like mid-20s, so like it was half our life ago, right? And I saw her, I was like, oh, Jacqueline, this is so funny. And her boyfriend came up and like, a boyfriend, I was just like, hey, how are you? I used to go out with Jacqueline when I was like 11 or 12, and his whole demeanor changed. Like I was like,
God.
He was like, really? Like I was like, dude, I'm not hitting on it. And she's like, I was just telling you, I was 11. Like I didn't even do anything. But he fully was like shaping up. I was like, he had Oakley sunglasses with wraparounds. Like I was like, oh, okay, this dude.
Bless.
But yeah. So I was like, technically, me and Jacqueline are still together, bro. So I don't know if you want to fight. I haven't had a fight since grade 4. I didn't say that, but yeah, she was my first crush, Jacqueline Sloan. If you're listening, we're not broken up. Yes, she went to a different high school. That's why we just didn't break up. We just went to different high schools.
Sure. So you drifted.
Yes. What was it about her
that made your heart skip a beat, Ben?
I was in grade 7, so I don't know. She was nice, and she was just interested in me. Like we used to talk about the show Friends and held hands on the bus.
Oh.
I don't know. I held hands on the bus, so that was like the scariest thing ever.
Why was it so scary?
I don't know, because you're touching another girl. Like I was 11. I was a pretty late bloomer.
Right.
I didn't have sex till I was like almost 19, which is, I think, pretty late. I was the last one of all my friends.
Was that a decision that you made, Ben?
It actually was, and this is like I had a few opportunities. I still remember down the beach with a girl, and she said, "Let's do it," and I said, "This is pretty funny." I said, "No, I'm really sorry, but like I want to wait until I love someone." The person, yeah, I know, it's actually really sweet. It's disgusting, like I said, and I'm sorry, I don't love you, but you're really nice, maybe. And then she sort of like didn't tease me, but was like, oh, okay, that's weird. And I was like, it was, yeah, it is kind of cute, right? And then and then I got a girlfriend, and her name was Kate Keeley. She was really beautiful, and I lost it to her, and I was so nervous. The condom broke the first time we had sex, and I read my mum's Every Woman book front to back just to work out whether she was going to get pregnant or not, just freaking out.
Oh no.
And because I'd held onto that condom for like 6 months in my wallet. Yeah. And it happened, and then
so obviously she didn't get pregnant.
First time. She didn't.
Okay.
No, she didn't.
Whew. How? Okay, so obviously you did not speak to anybody about the fact that the condom broke. Did you or didn't you?
Yeah. Speak to heaps of people. Yeah. My mates. I played soccer, so I had older soccer mates that I spoke to about, and they sort of talked me off the ledge. I talked to everybody about it, actually. Just anyone that would talk to me. I was a deli boy. I used to talk to people. Number 64, 300 grams of turkey. Hey man, condom broke the other day.
And what information did you get? What helpful information did you get from people, Ben?
That it's super easy to get pregnant, but also very difficult. So which is obviously a paradox, but it makes sense. with all the science behind it, the ovulation periods and all that sort of stuff. So that sort of put my mind at ease. And then we just did pregnancy tests, and she wasn't pregnant. And yeah.
Did you cry?
Did I cry?
Yeah.
No, I didn't cry.
Relief?
I didn't cry. No, I cry easy, but not at that. I was just sort of held it together.
Okay. You were the
All right.
tough man. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, sometimes I'm really stoic, and sometimes I'm really bad. Overthink everything. It's yeah. Well, everyone's complex.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm stupidly stoic, and nothing really phases me. But then the stupidest little things, I'll be like overthink stuff.
Can you give me an example, or that's something you want to keep private, Ben?
No, that's all right. I'm trying to think. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Like lots of things that sort of. I'm trying to think of like a really big sort of like traveling the world. I don't know. Like, I got held up in Guatemala. Like, going through the last town was taken under siege by the military. And like, I was in the back of a pickup truck, and they were going through the back with like guns and shit. And I was like, yeah, this is fine. Like, and I just lived in a Guatemalan school for 3 months by myself, like sometimes by myself, like, and it was scary, and like, that was fine. But then, I don't know, sometimes I'll really overthink if I've said something dumb, like to this woman that I really like, and I'll just fucking stay up at night, like, what an idiot, why would you say that? Like, yeah.
Interesting.
But like, yeah, the guns and I don't know, like that doesn't really matter. That doesn't keep me up at night. I was like, yeah, that just happened.
Do you think that, now correct me if I'm wrong, I think I remember you talking in Quite the Pickle with Emma and Jacques about, is your dad a military dude?
Yeah, he used to be a warrant officer in the Air Force, and now he teaches primary school.
Oh, that's very big change in career.
Yeah, well, he's got no behavior issues. He's like one of the best teachers I've ever seen in my life, though. He's insane. Just like, so like the behavior management, because that's a whole other area to talk about. But like, yeah, the emotional intelligence of kids isn't really valued much these days. Correct. As opposed to it's just all academic, and it's like, yeah, but
it's bullshit.
You got you got these little kids that can't make eye contact, especially boys, young boys. It's like I found like young boys really gravitated towards me when I was teaching, because young boys that don't have dads, like a lot of, they didn't have like a strong male role model in their life, and they really gravitated towards me when I was teaching them. I actually got a message like a week ago from a little kid that I taught. His mother-in-law reached out and said, I don't know if you remember this kid, but he talks about you all the time. And that's when I fucking cried at that. It was like, I woke up, I was like, because this kid, he used to come to school with like a broken arm and black eyes and stuff. And I was like fucking devastated. Anyway, it was a whole family thing. His mum and no dad. And anyway, I sort of helped him out, I guess. And he sort of remembered that. And
that's beautiful.
And she reached out, and I was like, oh my God. And he wants to do stand up now. So I was like, dude, do it. Like, yeah, it was like, I don't know, shit like that. Just sort of like,
it gets you, doesn't it?
Fucking hell. It's like, I went to a puppy dog then, went to water. It was real nice.
Yeah.
Really, it's cool.
That's a gift, I think, really, with social media, that parents can do that, like reach out, send you a message or whatever. It's really nice.
That is nice, right? Yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah, it is really lovely. From your relationship with the girl that you lost your virginity to, what was the lesson from that relationship, Ben? What lessons did you learn?
What lessons did I learn? Oh, God. I don't know. the probably oh, be more attentive. I found a balance of being more attentive because I was like 19, and so my whole life was just playing soccer. Like that was my just playing soccer, and then I'd see her on the weekends, and sometimes I wasn't like attentive enough to her because my life was definitely just playing footy, and then she sort of fit in around that. I was like 19. I was just like and that was like looking back on it, I'm like, you're a horrible boyfriend. Like I was nice when I was with her, but looking from her perspective, that's not like a good, that's not a nice, loving relationship. Where she sort of came second to playing soccer all the time.
Yeah.
Definitely like learning
lesson.
how to balance a relationship and friends and I think that.
Mm-hmm. So did you take that into your next relationship, Ben? That lesson?
Yes. And then I went too far the other way and didn't see my friends.
Where did the love song come from? What inspired you to write that?
God, it was my latest ex-girlfriend, my latest relationship. That was like it was a hard one. That was 4 years. And I had a whole heap of material on that relationship, which had to go out the window. So that was probably the saddest part.
Why did it have to go out the window? Why did it have
I'm joking. It didn't. I'm joking. It didn't. I kept it. And that wasn't the saddest part. I'm just trying to make a joke because I can't talk about my emotions because I'm a man. I push them all down and I'm not talking about them. And I'll build a man cave in my 50s and put all my emotions in there.
Oh, don't do
Yuck. And so I wrote it about her. She's beautiful. I have nothing but love for her. She's a really beautiful person. And just long distance got too hard. So it's it was a nice breakup but I wrote news jokes about that as well. So that's nice. Because she said like we would still be together if it wasn't the fact that we're doing like long distance and the fact we're at different times in our life. So like the only thing holding our relationship from working was just space and time. You know, just the fundamental fabric that holds together the entire fucking universe. Like, thanks for that, babes. Like, space time. I got stole string theory to keep my Netflix. All right, cheers.
I really loved that song. I thought it was really cute.
It's lovely. It's beautiful. Now, bloody. Oh God! Now I'm sort of seen another woman, and now I'm probably going to have to write a song for her. God, you wrote that song for her.
What? You don't have to do anything, Ben.
She's not like that at all. I'm just trying to make a joke about it, about my feelings. Oh God, what am I doing?
You're a really good songwriter. I've loved, like, the songs that I've listened to are really good. They're really funny. The chord progression is delightful and emotive. So it's great.
You. That was my job before I got into stand-up.
Tell me about that.
What kind of a job? I did music, and then that's when I started changing all my songs to dumb songs when I was traveling, and I did them in hostels, and then I got home and people were laughing, so I just did songs at like a comedy club, a comedy competition, and then I was like, oh man, this is the best. And then I couldn't be asked carrying my guitar around everywhere, so I just started doing stand-up.
That's fair. That's fair.
And people always did that, like, and a lot of purist comedians were like, oh, it's not, you just got a 6-string clapping machine. I was like, well, you do it if it's easy. Well, I get it. Like, there's a stigma with musical comedy.
There is.
You throw a half-assed joke together with half-assed chords, and then but
do you know what pisses me off about that, Ben? Is that music actually vibrates at a different, like, energy which connects with people on a different level. So it's actually a more fucking layered comedic element than just standing there and talking.
Wow.
So
You went with the
Eat a
vibrations.
dick if they
You went
want
with the vibration. Are you sure you're not from the Sunshine Coast? That sounded straight out of The Secret. Have you read The Secret? I think that
maybe when I was in my early 20s. Early 20s, maybe?
that sounded like a line from The Secret.
But it's music creates different vibrations.
I know it does. I'm just teasing. It sounded like a half-assed scientific explanation that like it's got vibrations, man. It's on different. We're on different vibrations. I don't know. You probably wouldn't get it. You're a Sagittarius, so
yeah, I don't. Even though in my my cabaret show at the moment, the little blurb about it, it says I'm a Virgo, which I fucking am, but I don't subscribe to that anymore either.
Sick. Anymore?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah.
But in your face, you were like, what the fuck? Yeah.
Oh, I just love science. And so astrology is hilarious to me.
Yeah. Well, look, when you're a teenage girl going through Cosmopolitan, it's, you know, it helps you in some way when you're a teenager thinking that this shit's going to happen because being a teenager,
Cosmo's dope.
Tough, man.
So tough.
Yeah.
I just wrote a new joke. That's so funny you said that. I just wrote a new joke about that. About Cosmo and Dolly. I used to read my little sister's Cosmo sealed section and Dolly Doctor. And it was just like, it was fucking beautiful. Like how you women talk about your bodies in like these beautiful, vulnerable ways. And then, yeah, the dudes, we had like Zoo Magazine and Ralph.
What did you learn from those mags? I don't
exactly. Exactly. It's like, I don't know, Nikki Webster's got boobs now. Check this out, boys. All right, cool.
Right.
It's gross. But you look at it as a societal sort of thing. That's why I guess you guys are so much more emotionally intelligent. You look at your magazines when that was like the 90s and you guys having conversations like about your bodies.
Well, that's because
like
we don't have a choice, really, because of periods. We can't stay oblivious.
We have wet dreams and we get pubes. It's not. I don't think it's that. I think it's women are just far more emotionally intelligent than men, and we don't. We're stoic and we don't bloody talk about it. And that's bullshit. Like we're only just getting our head around "Are you okay?" day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like dudes, that's a big jump. Like it's going to be another 100 years before we start talking about our dicks in vulnerable ways.
What would be a vulnerable way about talking about your dick? I wouldn't even know.
Of course, there's heaps of shit. But
you guys talk about your dicks all the time.
Exactly. Well, this is my whole bit that I'm writing. It's because it's the most self-conscious part of our body because, like, society puts so much pressure on it and we put so much pressure on it as a man, except we can't – everything we talk about, it just has to be like it can't be jokes in a negative light. It's just always got to be taken just – you know what I mean? Like it's got to be a very stoic, my dick. And we talk about it like that because we're self-conscious about it.
Right.
And we're worried about it, but we can't talk about it. That's why we've got troughs to pee in.
So you can look at each other's dicks to see.
So we can look at it, yeah. So because we don't want to talk about it. We just like, if we were emotionally intelligent, we'd have cubicles in the toilet as well. But we just develop non-verbal ways of sharing information, and
so
that's one of them.
So do you guys actually look at each other's dicks when you're peeing? Is there a glance at the peeing?
There'd be a couple. Yeah, dudes are fucking lying if they have never fucking caught a bit of peripheral. Like I don't know, some dude with a pet iguana just flops it out at the urinal, and you're like, Jesus Christ, I caught a big old peripheral of dong.
Sure. Okay, let's stay on dicks for a minute, Ben.
Would love to.
They are surprisingly, and I'm going to ask you if you had this same misconception of vulvas. So they, from my research, in inverted commas, and my experience, they're all extremely different.
Yeah, totally.
But we are
different.
fed that there is one perfect size,
it's always
shape,
circumcised.
pattern.
It's always circumcised. You watch people that draw dicks, they're always circumcised. We only draw a dick one way, but they're all unique. They're all beautiful, okay? They're all different. It's like a fingerprint. It's like women go to those retreats and like look at their yonis in a circle. You know what I mean? That's just, they just sit in a circle and look at each other's vaginas. Like, if dudes do that, there's got to be a fucking biscuit in the middle or something.
Oh, shit.
We're disgusting. I've never done that, by the way.
What? The biscuit thing?
Nothing. Yeah. I've heard of stories, but like I'm really competitive. I'm really competitive. Yeah, I've heard stories like all boys school, the biscuit in the middle.
Oh, so you went to an all boys school?
No, my friends went to an all boys school. My cousin went to an all boys school, and that was the joke. Oh, they all play soggy sayo. And I'm really competitive, so I think that's disgusting, but I really like the concept.
Shit.
It's like there's a little part of me that would be like, I could fucking win that, I reckon.
I reckon you probably could too, Ben. I reckon you could too.
Oh, bloody. Taking it. Oh, God.
Why is the general penis that is fed to the world circumcised?
I don't know. This is why I don't know. I don't even want to speculate on that because I don't know. It is interesting though that it is interesting that the cut dick is like the one that you see in all pornos, and that's the chic looking one. It's pretty fucking barbaric. When like everyone talks about it's cleaner. It's not. You just wash your dick. It's like your armpits are cleaner if you chop your arms off. Like it's such a dumb thing to say. Like it's such a dumb like there are certain medical procedures that you do need to cut the foreskin off because it's causing issues, just like people get their tonsils taken out, but not everyone needs their tonsils taken out. It's just it's pretty dumb when I personally think it's fucking so dumb.
What was your preconceived notion of what a vulva was? First of all, it probably would have been vagina because that's the generic incorrect word that gets bandied around when that's not what you're talking about, unless you're actually talking about
the vulva's the whole thing. Yeah, that is interesting. Terms, hey, you got to get the right words, use the right words.
And I've got one, and I only knew that was a thing, that was the actual name of it, like maybe 2 years ago, and I'm in my mid-30s.
Yeah.
So Ben.
Yeah, I know. It's just, labels, right? You put the right label on the right bit.
Yeah.
You're ignorant.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I only found out that it was called the vas deferens for the tube that goes from your balls to your dick hole.
Mm.
The other day. No one knows that. I knew that it's like the male equivalent of the fallopian tube.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. But my preconceived idea of a vulva, I didn't know. Oh, actually, when I read that Every Woman book, when I thought my first girlfriend was going to get pregnant, I learned a lot. I learned, hey, I can point them all out. Labia minora, labia majora. I'm like a fucking surgeon down there.
Well done.
Yeah.
Does that mean you are effective when needed down there? Or are you still fumbling around like most men?
Oh, no, I've made girls
reach their destination.
reach there. I was going to say, come everywhere. I think I have. No, I don't know. How do I answer that without looking like a fuckhead? I can't answer that without looking like I'm trying to talk myself up.
But you set yourself up, man. You set that up. You set it up.
As I said, because I knew what the parts.
No, because you're like a doctor down there. That's what you said.
I'm like a surgeon. Yeah, but surgeons doesn't equate to good lovers. A good surgeon doesn't equate to a good lover. They just know the bits.
Okay.
Doesn't mean you're good at it.
Touche.
Thank you. I don't know. Yeah. Well, yeah. I don't know. It's interesting. Every vagina is different, and it's beautiful. Oh my God, they're all beautiful.
But are they though?
Yeah,
are you just being sarcastic?
No, I'm actually not. Like, I'm going to sound like one of those male feminists now, but yeah, of course they're all dope.
Have you ever come across one? Because I've come across a dick that I've just gone, no.
What, too small or too big or too just gross?
Third one.
Gross?
Yeah.
That's quite ambiguous. Was it like it just looked gross or smelt gross or?
Both.
Oh God, that is horrible. Yeah, I don't know.
So you haven't had that experience?
No, every vagina is a flower, a gorgeous flower, and you're all goddesses. That's my answer.
Yeah, cool.
Minute. Gross. Ew.
No, there are some penises that are actually delightful.
I was joking. Yeah, they're great. They're good.
Okay.
They're all beautiful.
They're all beautiful. They're all beautiful, Ben. They're delightful. We haven't spoken about dating, really.
I'm terrified of dating at the moment.
Why? You're dating somebody?
Yeah, it's scary.
Why?
It's really scary. I haven't dated in like a year and a half because I really like her. I'm finding it interesting. Like I thought I had like everything sort of worked out. Like I'm pretty stoic and all that sort of stuff. But like, I don't know. I feel, the woman that I am seeing at the moment, she sort of, I get pretty nervous.
Oh, that's actually really sweet, Ben.
Yeah, but I don't know if she would find it sweet.
Oh.
But then I don't know.
I think that's pretty cute.
Do I have to be like this stoic? Does she want like a stoic bloke that's got all his shit together, or do I say, yeah, I'm fucking nervous? So you make me feel nervous because I really like you. That's
the second one. The second one.
Yeah, I've spoken to her about that. She gets it. It's just very nice. She gets it. I don't know. It's nice. I think relationships are tricky. You just got to talk. Yeah. Everyone's got their own little baggages and demons and shit. And I think as long as you communicate, it kind of works out. It's just hard because we're both very busy. Yeah.
If you are being as authentic as you can be, because yes, sometimes we're always a version of ourselves in different environments, but if you can be as authentic, and look, I'm speaking theoretically here, Ben, because I haven't been in a serious relationship for 5 years, so I'm speaking theoretically. From my understanding, from the people that I've spoken to and whatnot, being as authentic as you can be, and like you said, communication is super important. That's all you can do. Because if you're putting out a version of yourself that you think they want, they're not going to be attracted or get to know the actual person that they're dating. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Totally. And I think I have been myself. Mm-hmm. So I don't know, that makes me nervous. It's kind of nice. I like it because she makes me really nervous. It means I care. It's like when I do stand-up, if I'm not nervous, I don't really care about the gig.
Yep.
But yeah, I get really nervous around her, and I think I'm kind of like in awe of her. She's very cool.
Oh, that's
Just
nice.
she's just like she's cool. She's a very strong woman, like a powerful
really
sort of independent woman. I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, that's hot as shit. Yeah.
So did you ask her out? Did you approach her?
Yeah, kind of. She was having Christmas by herself, and I was like, you can't do that. Come hang out with my family.
Oh, that's nice, Ben. That's lovely.
Yeah. Ulterior motives, but yeah.
That's fine, but that's really sweet. That's very.
It was actually, yeah. That I felt like that's so sad. You can't do that, but yeah, obviously it was. I'd like to get to know you more. So that was scary, right? Dating.
Yep. Yes. Ben, are there any parting words of wisdom that you would like to impart on the listeners before I love and leave you?
Theme of today has been don't go too far left or too far right. Sit in the middle and have a nuanced conversation about shit, because we're all flawed. I think that, and the vulva is the whole thing, not the vagina. And then it goes pee hole and then clitoris. Okay,
Excellent.
they're the three holes.
Well done. Well done, Ben.
Thank you.
That's really good that you gave us a bit of an anatomy lesson there. I think a lot of men need to listen, go back and replay what Ben just said.
Oh, I said three holes. Clit doesn't have a hole.
It's okay. I thought you were referring to anus.
Oh yeah, they're the three holes.
Yes.
Yep. Butt, vagina, pee hole, clit. Remember that, boys? Can you put that on my headstone, please?
You've been delightful. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for talking a whole heap of stuff with me today. It's been insightful, delightful, and lovely.
Thank you, Carla, for having me on Catchlorette.
The Catchlorette, with friends near and far, from heartache to catfish and sex toys. The Catchlorette and friends. See you next time, if you dare.
Bank of the West is offering the 1% for the planet checking account. It gives back to the planet at no cost to you, and there's no monthly service charge with any deposit per statement. Only from Bank of the West. Learn more at bankofthewest.com/1%. Additional conditions apply. Member FDIC.
Love this podcast? Support it and sponsor today. Simply head to AuscastNetwork.com for details.